Gang. That's 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
I believe that every single human being with a laptop computer and an internet connection should be required to give trading at least a shot.
Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life.
I believe that every educated individual on planet Earth.
I would recommend Phil's gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents.
Should do this. It's not for every single human being on Earth. I know this. But it's one of those things that you should try, because if you happen to get it right, if you happen to be one of the ones that this is for.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Oh my God.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. That's right, philsgang.com. Join my gang for 10 days. It's free.
What's in front of you is a life of incredible joy, freedom, and independence.
philsgang.com.
The stocks discussed on Phil's Gang are not in any way a recommendation or solicitation to buy, sell, or hold. If considering acting on information presented, we first recommend you seek out a competent, licensed professional for advice. Get ready for the radio show that tells you what Wall Street doesn't want you to know.
Oh, I'm a money magnet. Money, money, money's coming to me. Money sets me free. I'm a money magnet. Money, 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 money's coming to me.
It's your daily dose of how to manage your money. And now it's time for Phil's Gang on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. With your host, Phil Grande.
I do think that we're in a healthier market setup than we've been in a very long time.
A healthy market setup. Are you kidding me? This market is setting up for one of the biggest crashes ever. I mean, look at the different crises this market is facing. We have a problem with, extreme light volume. The valuations, PE ratios, are insane. That's why the big institutions are not participating. The hedge funds aren't participating. The insurance companies, the biggest banks, they're all sitting this out. The only ones in participating are the retail customers. Are you kidding me? But the breadth of this market is horrible. I told you yesterday, you got 8,000 stocks that are trading every day. Only 6% are making new highs. Are you nuts? That there alone's a killer. I mean, there's no volume to this market. And also, the biggest danger, too, is we have a divergence. Stock prices going up, but earnings and profits are going down. There's only a handful of companies, as I said. If you take the Magnificent Seven, they contribute to 90% of the gains. 90% of the gains. That's insane. That's dangerous. This is setting up for a crash. And what people don't understand, and they better wake up, what's going on with the banks and what's going on with the housing market. No one wants to talk about it. But the banks and the housing market between 2007 and 2010 compared to today, are you kidding me? They didn't have any problems compared to today. The banking crisis and the housing crisis of today is incredible. Much, much bigger. The scale is so much bigger than it was between 2007 and 2010. Between 2007 and 2010, they only lost money on 14% of the mortgages they were carrying. They only lost money on the mortgages that were in default. You probably think, well, isn't that what's supposed to happen? Just lose money in the ones that default? Yeah, but guess what's happening in this crisis? They're losing money on every mortgage, the ones that are not in default. So if they have 100 mortgages, they're losing on 100. In 2008, if they had 100 mortgages and 14 were upside down, they lost money on the 14. They're losing money on every mortgage. And we are supporting this. What do you think's going on with the bank term funding program, propping these regional banks up? I mean, think how dangerous this is. The banks are losing money on every mortgage. Think what they did. First of all, they kept interest rates too low for too long at 0. Too low for too long. So they started to print all this money, which created inflation, buy treasuries. They wanted to get that, the Fed wanted to get their rate down to 0. And how do they do that? Well, they print all this money, they buy treasuries. So when treasury rates start going down, then they can set their own Fed rate at 0, which they did. And then what they do is they take the banks that they service, the biggest banks, and they lend them money. And then the banks lend each other overnight. And so they lend the banks overnight at 0.25%. You just use 0.25%. And then the banks would lend to a person over 30 years $400,000, $500,000 for a home at 2.3%, 2.7%, and they were making money because their cost of money was 0.25%. But then in 2009 to 2022, instead of creating a rally through productivity, manufacturing, increased jobs, creating new businesses, they didn't do that. The heck with that. Obama didn't want anything to do with that. Never mind productivity. Let's just give money away, more welfare money. Let's just keep printing money. We'll keep giving it to all these companies. 0.25%. And their stocks will go through the roof, and everybody will think the economy's doing terrific, and I'll be out there giving all these welfare programs. And that's what happened. So they were lending this money. Remember, it was 0. The bank's getting it at 0.25%, so they could make money on 2 and 3%. But that all changed because what happened? Well, because when Biden became president, not only was there inflation then, but when he became president, it was worse. Much worse. Because what did he do? Well, the first thing he did, he destroyed our energy independence. Well, you know what happened with that? Gasoline went through the roof. Food went through the roof. He destroyed that. Inflation was terrible. Horrible. And then, on top of that, he introduced this massive inflationary spending program we never saw before. And I talked about this yesterday, we already had under Trump, remember what was going on under Trump, the economy was growing at 6.5%. In fact, people were getting another $7,000 extra a year in their pocket. Under Biden, people were losing $4,000 a year out of their pocket. Biden was spending so much money. More money he was taking in tax revenues. It was unbelievable. And then he had the American COVID Rescue Plan, the Inflation Reduction Act plan, and Omnibus Bill plan, and the Green Energy Bill. And then he funded the war in Ukraine. All inflationary. So he was spending far more money than he was taking in. So they had to fight inflation. So when they started to fight inflation, they went into these little 25-point rate hikes. 11 of them. I think it was 11 rate hikes, 25 basis points. That wasn't fighting inflation. See, every president since Lincoln have said they feared the most it was inflation. That's what they feared the most was inflation. Every president has said that except for this president. And why do they fear inflation the most out of everything? Out of terrorism, a pandemic, a war. They fear inflation because it's the biggest threat to our entire economy, our entire system of government. But this guy didn't care. You know why? Because Powell and not B, they worshipped at the altar of Paul Krugman, who says debt has no relevance, puts no strain on the economy. Keep printing.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com. When the stock market is up one day and down the next, you need experienced advice from a pro.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I know you're sitting there watching the stock market. You're going, what? Is this nuts? Market goes up 700 points. Next day goes up 800 points. Then the market goes back down. Then it goes back up. What that is volatility.
You want to invest your money and grow your wealth. How do you invest intelligently?
But you got to anticipate what's going to happen with the market. And that's what we give you. Information so you can anticipate in advance what the market's going to do, so you know what stocks to buy, you know what stocks to short. It's all about having good information and anticipation. You got to anticipate. The one thing you can't do is rely on your brokers. Listen.
Our responsibility begins and ends with our partners and our shareholders, and that's it.
What are you, nuts? Partners and shareholders? You're not included.
Check out the free 10-day trial and follow Phil to investing success. Learn more at philsgang.com. philsgang.com.
I've been a Phil's Gang member since 2014. Over that time, I've generated over six-figure profits. Following Phil, his charting system has really been a huge impact on my career and my life. I would recommend Phil's Gang to the mom and pop out there. I would recommend it to parents teaching their children. I would recommend it to grandparents. If you really trust in their system, you will do well.
For more information, go to philsgang.com or give us a call at 877-600-4264.
At St. Jude Children's Research Hospital, we're fighting against childhood cancer every day. At the heart of this battle are our donors.
Most of us want to make some type of difference in the lives of others. St. Jude does miraculous work.
The fact that no one has to pay, it's a place where everyone is treated as an equal.
Everybody is welcome here, and it doesn't matter your religion or what part of the world you're from. All that is taken away. It just gives you some hope.
It's just a nice feeling to put your energy into something that really does genuinely make a difference in a child's life.
There's just no greater gift. If we have the ability to help, then we have a responsibility to help.
Finding cures, saving children. St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Find out how you can help at stjude.org.
Hey folks, Phil Grande from Phil's Gang Radio Show. Are you going to let Wall Street control your financial freedom? Are you nuts? Learn what Wall Street doesn't want you to know, especially how to profit in a stock market crash. I'm offering a 10-day free trial to our Working Investor program. No nonsense, just actionable insights. Don't miss out. Sign up to be a Phil's Gang member and secure your financial freedom. Visit www.philsgang.com today.
That's philsgang.com. philsgang.com. You can be a successful investor in the stock market by knowing what the market is going to do.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. God, you go nuts listening to these shows on TV, Kramer, any of them. I mean, they're giving you total garbage. Garbage in, garbage out. One day they tell you, buy this stock. Next day, don't buy the stock. Then you have two people on the show. One guy saying buy it, the other guy says don't buy it. So the question is, what the hell do you do? Well, we don't have questions here at Phil's Gang. And they never have to ask the question, what do you think the market's going to do? My members always know what the market's going to do because they've learned how to follow the money. That's right. Follow the money. You don't follow fundamentals. You follow the money. And what is that? That's volume. That's the buyers and the sellers. And the other thing, you got to learn how to sell a stock as well as buy a stock.
Follow the money. Follow Phil Grande.
Check it out, philsgang.com. Go to my podcast, YouTube, and Rumble every day. That's philsgang.com.
Phil's Gang wishes you and your family happiness, joy, and financial security, working together to make 2024 another successful year at philsgang.com.
And welcome back to Phil's Gang. It's the holiday. We've been supporting here at Phil's Gang St. Jude's for almost 30 years now. And, there's nothing like St. Jude's. I mean, they're just so terrific, these people. I had a son with cancer, so I understand that whole program. But if you can, during the holiday, I know it's things can get tough, but just whatever you can send to St. Jude, just a little bit of money, they can certainly use it. And I was fortunate enough I didn't have to use St. Jude's, okay, because we had the ability to pay. But the program is just incredible. I mean, just unbelievable what they do for people. And we've been really active with them for years. And so if you can help them, that would really be great. And, we haven't changed our prices much at all in the last 22 years. Because we always kept it low in hopes that people, when they join the gang, they'd give a little bit of money to St. Jude as they start making money. And once you really understand St. Jude's culture and really get into it, it's unbelievable what they do. It's not, everyone thinks of St. Jude, well, you go there because it's free and they take care of you. It's more than that. They're one hell of a research facility. I mean, they wipe cancers out. So just, during the holiday, if you get a few extra bucks, please help them out. Okay, so I want you to listen to this.
Zero interest rate policy is something I hope we never see again. It's highly distortive, and it inevitably leads to a boom that follows with a bust.
And everybody knew that. Obama knew that. Bernanke knew that. Bernanke wrote a paper on it, identifying how it led to a bust for Japan. And it should never be used. Think about what they did with zero rates. First of all, to get to the zero rates, how do you get there? Through inflation. Because you got to print money to go buy treasuries. The idea is the more treasuries you buy, the yield goes down, or the interest rate, if you will, goes down. And they keep pushing that interest rate down because they want to get the housing market going. It's all about housing. Housing is a much bigger contribution to our economy than the stock market. Are you kidding me? 20, 30 times bigger than the stock market. So they always are trying to drive housing. You drive housing by getting the 30-year fixed rate mortgages down. And how do you do that? You do that by going out and buying treasuries and trying to get those treasuries lower and lower. And then when they get those treasuries down, then the Fed, who they set their own rate, they set their own rate for their banks. Remember, the Federal Reserve has banks. Bank of America, Citi, they're like the 8 biggest banks in the country. They control them. And when they can get that 10-year treasury yield down, then they can set their own rate, which they did at 0. And when they set their rate at 0, that's when they could take that money and loan it to their own banks at a 1/4 point. And their own banks then took that money and loaned it out and would give you a 30-year fixed rate mortgage at 2.3, 2.4, 3%, which is all fine and dandy. And then they were giving all the money to CEOs so they could go and buy their own shares, so they didn't have to have profits to move their stock price up, to move their earnings up. They would simply just reduce the amount of shares they had outstanding. This guy is absolutely right. You should never be allowed to do this. In fact, it was illegal. It was Reagan who brought it back to making it legal. So CEOs, all they would do is if they had 1 million shares, they would go and they'd buy, let's say, draw down to where they only would have 800,000 shares out there. Well, if they only had 800,000 shares instead of 1 million, there's more demand because there's less shares. So what happens? Earnings go up without profits, and the stock price goes up without profits. And this is what they kept doing. Kept pushing these artificial prices up. And that's what created the rally between 2008 and 2022. And that's what created the 1,200% NASDAQ 100 to go up 1,200%. The S&P go up 600%. It was all fake, all false. It was nothing but a bubble. And now we're going to pay for it. Now, the banks, when they were giving loans at 2 and 3%, and when the market, and then when the market went bust, they were only losing money, remember, on foreclosures. So they were only losing money on 14% of the mortgages they were writing. That's all. During 2007 and 2010. 14%. The rest they're making money on. They're making about $2,600 on each mortgage. Well, now they're losing on every mortgage. And the guy is sitting there with a 3% mortgage, 2.8% mortgage. Every day, that bank is losing money. And the guy's not defaulting. He's not going to default. So it's a bigger, massive, much bigger problem. That's why the market's going to crash. One of the reasons. But nobody will tell you the truth. The banking system is over. They've been able to prop it up for 13 years. They've been masking it for 13 years. Then in 2013, in March of 2013, when the 3 banks blew up, because as rates continued to go up, they were losing money on their mortgages. Every mortgage they had, they're losing money on. And then when a person wins it, boy, look at this, I can get a 3-month mortgage for 5%. Give me my money. I'm going to take my money out of the bank because I'm going to buy a government mortgage. And they go to the bank and there's no money there. That's why those 3 banks went down. But there's 180 more banks like those 3. They're ready to go broke. They're just being propped up by this silly little program. People have no idea what's going on.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down So you really understand why the market is going up, or why there's continued inflation, or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard, things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up, or why there's continued inflation, or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand, especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
Phil Grande here, Phil's Gang Radio Show. Tired of Wall Street's games? We've got the antidote. Learn the art of short selling. And then you're going to gain a top-notch stock market education with Phil's Gang and philsgang.com. We're so confident you'll love it because we're offering a 10-day free trial to our working investor program. No gimmicks, just real strategies. Sign up to a Phil's Gang membership today and take control of your financial future. Visit www.philsgang.com now. Hi, I'm Phil Grande of philsgang.com. Over the years, I've successfully taught tens of thousands of investors how to navigate the market with confidence. Become a Phil's Gang member and receive the training, the advice, and the software that will take your investing to the next level. I have a team comprised of successful investors, all with proven track records, and the Phil's Gang software is easy to use, painless to navigate, and tells you exactly when to buy, when to sell, when to hold, when to run like hell, even short. Learn about common market mistakes and how to minimize them. You don't have to be a seasoned investor to benefit from Phil's Gang and platform. No matter what level investor you are, my strategies for investing are designed to put you on the path to success. Sign up for the 10-day free trial to see our platform in action. Avoid market pitfalls and start winning with Phil's Gang. Learn more at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com.
What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. philsgang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With philsgang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to philsgang.com. philsgang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. With the philsgang.com membership, we bring investors right to the floor, into the pits with Phil's daily live webinar classroom. Get inside market guidance on investing strategies. Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. Don't have time to analyze and study stocks? At philsgang.com, we recognize that there are all types of investors, and we also recognize that your time is valuable. So we offer investing programs for all individuals. We offer investing programs for long-term and short-term positions. And philsgang.com provides quick and easy to understand investing videos that only take a few minutes to watch. With the philsgang.com investing programs, you will learn technical stock charting, how to execute your trades, and most importantly, you will gain the confidence to know when to get out of a stock and take profits. Sign up at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or give them a call, 877-600-GANG. Phil's Gang wishes you and your family happiness, joy, and financial security, working together to make 2024 another successful year at philsgang.com. Now, here's Phil.
When we see an S&P dividend yield of about 1.5% versus, real 10-year yields well above 2, it just doesn't square. And forward equity returns have been very, very low every single time you've had that sort of dislocation.
And as I said, when they introduced these zero rates, they were illegal at the time. Reagan changed them. And then when Obama came in office, he's decided to take the program, because it wasn't illegal anymore, and put it in place. And even though Bernanke told him what the results would be, what we're finding today, what's happening today, because Japan went through the same thing. Because what's happening to Japan is now happening to us. You got all of our banks are losing money on every mortgage. And also, they keep saying how inflation's over with. That's not true. We're going to keep raising rates, because if you had a house mortgage at $325,000, okay, and the interest rate was 2.3 or 3%, now that same mortgage is $398,000 because it's now at 7%. So the inflation is terrible. Now, here's another thing. Remember, as I said, every president since Lincoln fears inflation. But this guy, this president, with Yellen, his Treasury Secretary, worship at the altar of Paul Krugman. He's a winner of a Nobel Prize. He's a communist. And he believes that has no relevance, that you should keep on printing and printing and spending and printing to help everybody so we can go to socialism. And this is what he's doing. So the problem is this. This has become insane, because now all this printing money, the banks are sitting there losing money. They're losing about $2,800 on every mortgage. How long do you think they can do that and stay in business? And then they keep printing so much money, they lose money under Biden's watch. Remember this?
Joe will keep an eye on how precious tax dollars are being spent. To you, he's Mr. Vice President, but around the White House, we call him the sheriff. Because if you're misusing taxpayer money, you'll have to answer to him.
Since that time, right now, up to today, they can't find money because they don't care. They just print more. Under his watch, the Pentagon has lost, they can't find, okay, and they admit it, they can't find thousands and thousands of these jet parts, these F-35 jet parts. You're talking about $1.6 trillion in jet parts. Where'd they go? My guess is Biden's son sold them. Then they misplaced they can't find another $6.2 billion in funds that went to Ukraine. Supposed to go to Ukraine. Where are they? Well, I know where they are. Either some of the money is in the same garage that the Corvette is, or check out Zelensky. He just bought 2 yachts worth $75 million. One yacht he named Lucky Me. The other yacht he named Mr. Legacy. Are you kidding me? He's got $100 million stashed, okay, offshore. He bought a $5 million home in Egypt. He bought a $35 million home here in Florida. And even when Biden knows all this, his press secretary said, oh, this missing money? Oh, and the money that went to Zelensky? No way, we'll limit our backing of Zelensky. It will not limit the future money we'll continue to send him and his regime. It's not going to disturb it. Wait a minute. Are you kidding? The guy just took $100 million of our money. He stashed it offshore. He's paid $75 million for 2 yachts, rub it in our face by calling one Lucky Me and Mr. Legacy. That's our money. And Biden doesn't care. Why? Because you know darn well he's getting a piece of it. This is unbelievable what's going on. So they do the audit, and everybody's hoping, well, let's get into this. They wrapped the audit up. You know what they did? They chalked up all the money that went to Zelensky and all the money that's missing, trillions of dollars, as an accounting error. That's what the Pentagon, that's what Biden had him do, an accounting error. That's what they're going to do for Biden. All the money he and his family have been getting, they're going to call it, it was an accounting error. He's going to get away with it. Unbelievable. Unbelievable what's going on. So what does this have to do with the market? A great deal. They are lying to you left and right about how great the economy is and it's strong and the consumer, he's strong and I mean, if he was strong, why did the consumer? Let me ask you this. Okay, yeah. Black Friday, online spending went up 7%. 7% increase from over last year. But a 42% increase on their program, buy now, pay later. A 42% increase because people don't have any money. They're tapped out. The stock market, you've had the same 7 stocks driving 90% of the gains. 7 stocks. Just 7. Actually, not 7. 5 of the 7. This thing is setting up for such a crash. Just use some common sense. How can the banks survive when they're losing anywhere from $350 to $3,800 on every loan in their bank? Why do you think they're cutting? They're cutting people left and right, but you don't hear about it, do you? Oh, no, they don't want to talk about that. No, because they want to come out and say, boy, the economy's strong and the labor market's strong. It's always the labor market's strong. Every time you pinpoint something's going awry, oh, don't worry about it. The labor market's strong.
I also felt that inflation would turn out to be very spiky, as it often is. There's a lot of worries that it was going to be like the 1970s all over again. But in fact, it's turned out to be relatively transitory.
There they go again. All right, so here's what we did. My members, I said to them to start buying gold, the miners. And I said, be very patient. And we started talking about buying gold in October. In fact, I said, just buy just a tiny bit of mining stock, just a couple shares, just so you don't forget about them, like a bookmark, because gold is going to go through the roof. But you don't want the bullion. You want the mines. You want the people. You want to invest in the companies that get the gold out of the ground. That's what you want. And they pay dividends, and they're much better than the gold. And already the gold's starting to go up. I told you, and I told them then, watch the dollar. The dollar's going to start tanking. Dollar's going to start tanking. And it has. And now gold is starting to go up. The miners are starting to go up. And everybody's still trying to buy these same 5-6 stocks. Isn't it amazing? It's amazing. So now today they're trying to push the banks back up. And they're struggling. They can't do it. Look, this rally they keep calling a rally is not a rally. This is not a rally. Look at a rally when this went from 2009 to 2022, the rally stopped. 2022, it stopped. And then it dropped 38%. Because guess what? Every time the yields get above the 10-year yield, get above 1.6%, the market can't take it. That's why we had a 38% pullback. And then from October 2022 to January 2022, yields were at 4%. They didn't know what to do. They couldn't get the stocks moving. So what did they do? They put a pool of money together. And they told the biggest banks, 5 biggest banks, go buy Microsoft and Apple because yields are so high that we can't move these stocks. And now we got such a huge bubble in these tech stocks. It's just insane. Join my gang. Phil's gang.
Want more information on this show? Go to philsgang.com or give them a call at 877-600-GANG. What if you could have an in-depth understanding of the stock market just like the pros? Well, thanks to Phil Grande and philsgang.com, you can. Phil'sGang.com offers comprehensive, up-to-date market information designed to help you understand and anticipate market behavior. With Phil'sGang.com, you'll build your investing confidence even through down cycles and periods of uncertainty. Go to Phil'sGang.com. Phil'sGang.com today. 877-600-GANG. 877-600-4264. Short on time but want to invest in the stock market? Let Phil'sGang.com help you. For only $39.95 a month, you get complete access to all of Phil's powerful investing programs, videos, and resources.
That works for me. Log in, watch the videos, and make profits.
Find out more at philsgang.com or call 877-600-GANG. That's 877-600-4264. philsgang.com. When making wise investment decisions, Phil Grande has some sound reasons you should join Phil's Gang.
You know, when I started this, they asked me, okay, can you explain to people why they should join the gang? Gee, I thought about that. And I guess to make money. But more than that, to get good direction on which way the economy's really going. We get so much crap, so many lies, how great the economy is and how great the tech business is, and when it's not. The problem is we have too many people in Washington and in this industry that just don't tell the truth. The truth is everything. And here at Phil's Gang, we stick with the facts. We tell the truth. We make sure our members, are getting the best information, and our listeners, like you. We make that information available to you and make it simple and understandable.
Good investing means understanding how the stock market works. Join today at philsgang.com.
Hi, I'm Phil Grande at philsgang.com. I've been doing this business of trading over 55 years. God, they make it so complicated. It doesn't have to be. The best way to learn is to follow me, my actual investments. That's right. When I buy a stock, you follow me. Do exactly what I do. That's the best way to learn.
Check out the free 10-day trial. Learn more at philsgang.com.
Be my co-pilot at philsgang.com. Do what I do.
That's philsgang.com. When you listen to the advice of Phil Grande at philsgang.com, you'll find investing in the stock market makes sense with the right guidance.
People keep saying to me, boy, things are hard. Things are tough. Boy, the market's really screwed up. And I don't agree with them. For us here at Phil's Gang, we make it so it's simple. It doesn't matter if the market's bad or good. We consistently do well because we make it simple. And just like for my listeners on the radio or on the internet or my podcast, we make it simple. We try to break it down so you really understand why the market is going up or why there's continued inflation or why the bank rates are going up. So you understand. Especially yields. The most important thing to understand how yields work. Just what we do. We work hard at it.
Trusted advice, easy to understand strategies that will make you a better investor. Get all the details at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Want good investing advice from someone you can trust? Listen to Phil Grande.
With what's going on today in the economy, especially the stock market, it gets really complicated, but it doesn't have to be. My job is to make it simple, to get through the fog. And I think I do that, and I think I do a pretty good job of that, especially why you should be buying a stock, or why you should be in the market, or not in the market, or shorting.
Invest wisely with the knowledge of Phil Grande at philsgang.com. From everyone at Phil's Gang, we wish you happiness and joy this holiday season. Join us at philsgang.com for a prosperous 2024. Now, here's Phil.
Welcome back to Phil's Gang. So, if you're smart, you'll start buying mining stocks. That's what we started to do. We started buying them in October, buying them in November. Join our gang, okay? We'll help you with it. Listen, inflation is not over with. Not by a stretch. Are you kidding me? The money that this guy is spending, and guess what? Guess who's going to rebuild? Guess who's going to rebuild? Willie, my producer, just told me this information he gave to me. That BlackRock and Jamie Dimon of J.P. Morgan, they're going to get a $411 billion contract to start rebuilding Ukraine. You don't think that the Biden's family's not in on this? Are you kidding me? Where do you think the oil company the kid was working at's located? In Ukraine. So we started to buy, I'll put it up for you here. Let's go to an oil. Now, oil has been down, okay? And you had to buy oil at the right time. We bought oil. We bought United States Commodities Futures, an oil fund. We bought oil for our gang back in July 6th. And the fund then was around $64. And then we got out around, it was around a high of around $82, 64 to about $82. So we got about a 25 to 28% return. Then we turned around and we sold it short because our charts that we designed, our own charts, showed us the money pattern that the institutions were starting to take money out. So we knew the stock would drop. So remember, these are our charts. We designed these charts. These are our algorithms. You don't go buy these somewhere. And they're the best charts because you can follow, again, the footprint of money. Anyways, so it's pulled back again. And we shorted it, making money again, selling short. You've got to understand, if you don't know how to short, you whatever gains you make in the stock market, you're going to give them up at some point. It's crazy, like having a car with just forward and no reverse. But let's go back to, so the oils, I think you can see that oils drop a little bit more. And by the way, you're going to see the stock market pull back maybe about 3.5%, 4%, then they're going to run it again. Okay, so you can see what's going on in the market right now. So they're going to pull it back about 3-4% maybe, and they're going to have one more big giant run right before the crash. Right, the market's probably going to crash, I would say, because of the program they have, the banking program for the 180 banks, so they don't go broke. That's what's holding the works up, because they keep funding these banks. Remember, you got 180 banks that are busted. And the CEOs go to the window and pick up money. And that's how these banks are staying alive. Are you kidding me? So remember, Silicon Valley Bank and First Republic and Signature, remember, they lost $50 billion. They went down. That was before the program. And then when they went down, the program was funded, the Bank Term Funding Program, to make sure they hold those banks together, especially before the election. So that's what they're doing right now. And again, we bought, and if you let me give you the numbers we bought these at. Here we go, gold. We bought on November 14th, we bought AU around $17. Okay, and right now it's around $19.10. These stocks are just starting to go up. I told my gang members, be patient. That's about 12%. I said, you're going to watch the dollar come down, and you're going to watch these gold stocks go up. And also I said, watch TLT. That's the bond market, okay, TLT. And TLT was good. I said, everybody's been shorting bonds. Bonds have been getting clobbered, right? And I said, they're going to have to start buying these bonds back, and you're going to see the TLT starting to go straight up when the dollar comes down. So I said, when the dollar keeps coming down, let's buy TLT and let's buy AU and some of the other gold stocks. GDX, that's a beautiful miner. We got into GDX early on. We got into GDX again that same date. This is all around November 14th, and we got in GDX around $27, and now it's around $31. So the gold's starting to come in. Okay, that's about a 14% return. So we've been focusing on these gold stocks, and we've been focusing on the bond market, TLT, where we're coming in, and we know they're short covering these, and we're buying. And in the last few days on our color coded chart, the last 4 days, our footprint turned green. So we bought, and we're making money on that. So that's where your money is going to go. Now, as far as if you're going to continue with Microsoft and Apple and the same 5 stocks, they're going to keep pushing them. There's no question. They're going to push them right up to the first quarter, okay? Because that's the only thing that keeps the market going. And then those are going to fall so hard. And remember what I told you the catalyst is going to be. The catalyst is the banks. Because the banks are, again, they only can hold the banks up for so long. And what they're doing is they're going to, again, keep this thing running, okay, as much into the election. Remember, we got an election going on. They don't want to see these banks go down. But they're not going to be able to hold them up. They're not going to be able to hold them up. It's just impossible. I mean, and look what you got going on. You got the auto and credit cards. That's the biggest problems you have in this country right now. And we haven't seen delinquencies on auto and credit cards like this for more than 15 years. I mean, we got $1 trillion historic credit cards. I mean, that's unbelievable. Delinquencies are a 20-year high. The consumer's out of money. Why do you think he's using the buy now and pay later program? And here's the thing. They lie to us about wages all the time. They're seeing how wages are really doing good. No, they're not. Wages aren't keeping up with inflation. They lie to us about that too. So keep your eye on gold miners, okay? And if you start buying these gold miners, that's where you're going to do well. And all you do is keep watching the dollar. If the dollar keeps going down, you buy the miners. Now, right now, the other thing you should be doing to see, instead of saying, what do you think the market's going to do? All you got to do is watch, look at the symbol IWM. That's the small mid-cap stocks. If IWM, if those stocks, that group keeps going up, and the 10-year Treasury goes down at the same time that's going up, that means the market's going to be extended upward. When that stops, the market's going to crash. But this pressure that we're getting from again, it's just amazing, the amount of pressure that these banks are under right now. And you can't just depend on 4 stocks. I mean, that's the amazing. Why does everybody just think if you stay with these 4 stocks, you're going to be okay? See, when you get to a point where we are, where all he's doing is running debt, right? And deficits. Remember what that is. That's why we have inflation. And when he continues to spend more than his tax revenue and continues to destroy the U.S. energy, our independence, it's causing an inverted yield curve. And the banks right now are tightening like we never saw. You can't get a bank loan. You can't get a bank loan. And then we got the worst earnings in 25 years. They keep masking those. The largest debt ever. Then you got rising yields and rising inflation. But at the same time, you got stock prices going up, but earnings are going down. You got to be kidding me. And then the banks are losing on every home. And think about from January 2023 to November, where we are, there was gains of 18%, but only 7 stocks contributed. That was 71% of the 18. Don't you understand how dangerous that is? And you don't want to learn how to short, and you don't want to buy gold? When you have 7 stocks contributing to the 18% gain, and you only have 493 stocks of the S&P contributing just 6%, and they're telling you the economy's doing well, the stock market's doing well. Are you nuts? Join my gang, Phil's Gang.
You have been listening to Phil's Gang with your host, Phil Grande, on the Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Off the Wall Street Radio Network. Remember to visit Phil's website at philsgang.com. That's philsgang.com. Or call the office, 877-600-4264. That's 877-600-4264.
It's up to me.